Hello everyone, this is Sarak Chaap Collective, and we're here starting another initiative where we're going to take photos that we like and talk about them in terms of composition, what's working, what's not working. And yeah, my name is Murtaza.
Yeah.
Mm,
My name is Hamza.
there you go.
Yeah.
And my name is
All right, nice. So the way this is going to work is we'll all have different colors, and we'll talk about this on this Google Jamboard, basically, and we'll be marking color-wise whatever we like, dislike, what's working, what's not working, etc., etc. So you can see over here, this is me, MD. Hamza is green, and then Saad has to select his color. And yeah, so this is a photo from how do you pronounce his name? Masij. Yeah, so
Yeah. So
we've posted
yeah, do you know where this is taken? Is this taken in Peshawar? Or?
yeah, so I have the Instagram page on. We have his credits here. We've posted this photo on Sarak Chaap Collective as well, which you can view.
Right.
And this photo was taken in Peshawar. I don't know when, but in Peshawar, and it's titled Culture. Right. So yeah, I guess
This is a place behind a cinema or something. It
yeah, it
has that
looks like
feel.
cinema, and basically it's a play of light and colors and composition
Yeah.
as well. So
Right.
so
Murtaza, do you want to start off
what's
your
what's
thoughts on this picture?
what's sorry?
Do you want to start off with your thoughts about this picture?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what do you think? What works?
For me, it's just straight off the color and the faces of the heroes in the background, and then the light coming through is really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think what I really like about this is the size of these images. You know,
Yeah, the
because
scale.
yeah, the scale of the images. I mean, if you look at this guy only, they'll be like the size of one man, right?
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting picture to look at, and the way it's composed, you can see it's going by the rule of thirds, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems more exaggerated because of the size of the
Mm-hmm.
drawings, the paintings. So it looks almost as if the people sitting down are smaller or inferior to these huge bodies. So that's what I really like about these pictures. This picture, yeah.
Yeah. Also the way the composition here, like I love how this angle comes here, and how his topi is
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
These
yeah,
two angles, I love that, and then sort of the same thing going on here. Like it's almost like a
mm,
frame within a frame thing. Like like this is what I'm seeing. It's like a square being formed, and then I also love how the
mm.
shadow of this, these lines here.
Right.
It's probably
yeah. I was just
and it's
I was
going
just going
on
to
the bloody
mention
face. It's almost like making it more
Yeah,
dramatic. So I love that.
yeah,
for sure. It kind of looks like the guy is behind some sort of
Yeah.
bars or like a prison or whatever, and knowing that this picture is taken in Peshawar, and also these two men, they're old and they definitely have that sort of um I don't know, Pathan, Pakhtun kind of vibe going on. It situates the picture in, I think, the sort of Peshawar's history and perhaps its
mm, yeah,
violence and all of that. It's a fantastic photo. It's really cool. What a what a great wall. And also of course what a great scene.
Right.
And also, you mentioned the history of Peshawar a little bit, about the past and the violence and all that. And you can see, there's a gun over here at the back,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the people are Pakhtun as well. So I don't know if it adds to the stereotype, or does it like attempt um, to break them, or to
Mm.
provide a different perspective. But it's really interesting to see this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like how you mentioned that, Hamza, because yeah,
yeah,
है कि you know how media, this is a sort of like it's obviously a movie poster, right? तो मीडिया जो
yeah,
है वो कैसे इन्फ्लुएंस करता है, because the people, the actual reality, they
yeah,
don't really have the guns, but this is how Pakhtuns are shown. So
yeah.
it's that contrast over there as well. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Let's move on to the next one. Yeah.
All right. So कराची से पेशावर, या पेशावर से कराची, इसको मैं बड़ा करता हूँ. Alright, let me.
Right. How do I erase this?
Yeah, मैं करता हूँ ये.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my god.
Right.
There you go.
So
Okay. So
What a
जिसको
lovely
इंट्रोड्यूस कर
image.
लो इसको यार, किसकी फोटो है, कहाँ पे ली
Yeah,
हुई है.
I guess I can do that. This is Arif Mahmood. It's one of his, I guess, classic images. Made at Seaview Beach. What's it called? Young and the Fearless, late 90s, probably. I want to say like 97. Hamza, if you might be able to correct me if you know, but it's okay if you don't.
no, I don't remember. Yeah.
But more about the background. This I think this was hung in the seminal sort of Pakistani exhibition in New York at the Asia Society called Hanging Fire. Uh, might be confusing it with another image, but I think this was there. Another fun fact: this was bought by Jay-Z actually, and was displayed in his or for his autobiography, I believe,
Yeah.
which is also just so cool. Um, Hamza, you really like images with kids and guns. Maybe you can sort of situate it in the sort of wider context of street photography, or at least in American street photography. I'm of course thinking of William Klein's
Mm-hmm.
shot. I think it's
Yeah.
called Gun One.
Yeah. It is. So yeah, it's this is a almost iconic picture when it comes to Pakistani photography. There aren't many, or are there? I don't know. But this definitely makes the list. So yeah, I love everything about this. I think this was in Karachi, the Karachi monologue as well.
Yes,
Monograph of RFM, I think.
yes,
Yeah.
Karachi
So
2005.
yeah, what I really like about this is the way it is. First, the composition, because the kids standing really close to him, and then um, it's composed really well. But also the way the light is. It's not a very street photography cliche light. I mean, it's not direct. It's a very. I think it's early morning right now, in the scene, and then there's fog. So what the fog really does is, it separates this kid from the background. So you can see the fading background and the fading sea towards the right. So it's a very beautiful frame in that sense. Um, and the sky is just pure white.
Mm-hmm.
So aesthetically, it's a really beautiful black and white picture. Uh, but this is also a really interesting picture because it reflects its time. Because that time, in those days, Karachi was in the middle of street violence and all that. So I think
Yeah, I believe.
this really reflects the impact of that violence onto the kids. I don't know if it's a toy gun or a real gun, but it definitely reflects the time.
Yeah, I believe the 90s was one of the most
Yeah,
violent decades in Karachi's history. So that's definitely true. But I also kind of I mean, yeah, compositionally it's beautiful. The gestures, the hand with the gun, but also the other hand, and just
yeah,
how it's
yeah,
placed on the knee, his back, and you can kind of see like some sort of intensity in that
yeah.
guy
It's like
just
a very it's as if he's like really focused on what he's trying to aim for. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and I think they were just fooling around,
yeah,
Yeah.
um, and also just the guy coming and sort of the scarf kind of thing that he's wearing, and I don't know if it's covering
yeah.
his face or not, but just sort of how he's caught while he's walking, and just where he is, also kind of like
It's almost like as
this.
if RF Mahmood caught this like he paved the way or showed what's to come in a way, right? Like that person will come into the field of view of this kid and maybe get shot. I don't know, but it's really interesting in that sense. Uh,
Yeah, for me, when you said Hamza,
yeah,
that this is like one of the iconic Pakistani photos. And what makes it iconic for me is, his pajama
yeah,
and
yeah,
the nada that's hanging from there. Wait,
yeah, definitely.
nahi chal raha. There you go.
I say this a lot that shalwar kameez or pajamas like in this case. I think this is what will create a Pakistani identity when it
Identity,
comes to
yeah,
photography.
for sure.
People will know it's a Pakistani photograph once they see a shalwar kameez
Yeah,
or a traditional outfit. Um, so it's really interesting
yeah.
that you pointed this out.
दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि I don't know, we haven't touched how important this is, but it looks like a 6x6 medium format. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
is.
which camera, but I know that RF used a Mamiya, so maybe it's his C
Yeah, I think he was using the Mamiya.
330. But the frame reminds me, the whiteness here, this whole part, it really reminds me of Avedon's photos for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah. I think he mentioned like once I asked him, he was like, Avdon is one of my biggest
Yeah.
influences. Yeah,
And then, of course, this as well, like how low he is. Now, it would make sense because this camera was a TLR or is a TLR. So, he really
mm.
must have gotten down, and to break this, horizon,
Mm.
almost वो नीचे उसके level पे ही बैठे होंगे. So that's also,
Yeah, because that's interesting because when you say it's a TLR, that means you're looking at it from above, right? So
exactly,
it's a
yeah.
really good. The perspective is really good.
Yeah.
In that,
So
yeah,
that's that. Okay, I think we can move on, I guess.
yeah, we can.
All right, I'll just clear this. Right, so this is the
Yeah,
third
so this
third
is
photo. Yeah, go ahead, Hamza.
this is a really cool photo. I think this was taken last year
Mm-hmm.
when Karachi was almost all was flooded because of the rains and the the crumbling infrastructure of Karachi, as everyone knows. But I think this is really good in a way that I think this is near Hassan Square. This whole picture is number one composed really well because I think if you look at the lines over here, like they point all the whole scene points to this kid sitting in the middle, like standing in the middle. So it's it's a good picture in that sense, and then the water reflecting this kid, the sky, the clouds over here. Um,
Also, like
to
this
me, it's
part,
a
like the way
yeah,
this kid is framed, ऊपर से भी हो रहा है और नीचे से भी वही
yes,
पूरा
yes,
X बन रहा है.
yeah. So it's this picture is almost a warning to me because this will happen next this year as well. This will continue, and then it's just a sad reality of Karachi. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you like about this picture?
Yeah, I love this part. You know, this kid almost as if he's, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
long, like वो उम्मीद में है कि यार
yeah.
ये करा मेरे शहर का ये हालत है, और you know मुझे इधर
ये
जाना है,
पानी खत्म
लेकिन
हो मैं वहाँ जाऊँ. That's
मुझे
really
ऐसी फीलिंग
interesting
आ रही है.
because the kids are almost looking at that
Yeah,
Ferris wheel, so it's nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then of course also you know, it's floods, and then the clouds really create that atmosphere as well. ऐसे नहीं है कि clouds खत्म हो गए
yeah,
हैं और it's still, you know, ongoing rain. और वो जो, I mean, whoever knows about the Karachi floods अभी last year, uh, you know, you really are
yeah.
basically transported back into that zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if
Saad, are
Saad
you
has
here?
anything to add here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. You guys mentioned most of it. I was gonna point out the Ferris wheel myself, and how I like the placement relatively to the boy. Also because of the way, Waleed used lines over here, it just takes away all the attention from the cars and the stuff that's on the periphery, and literally you're just seeing the water and you're seeing the guy, and then if you look more, then like maybe um, of course you're also seeing the Ferris wheel, I think. But then you'll notice the clouds, and of course Murtaza had a great point about the clouds and how it makes it seem like it's ongoing, and it, so yeah, lovely,
There's a really
lovely,
cool
lovely
sense of,
depiction.
I mean, there's a really sad sense of loneliness and uh,
Despair, I think.
yeah, despair. Because this whole road is empty right here, and then you see these clouds, these giant clouds on top, and then you see these cars lining up at the sides. So it's almost a perfect photo. Yeah,
Yeah, I also just noticed right now that this car, it seems like it just came, and you can see the ripples over here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, I
That
was,
might be reading a little too into it.
I, I was,
um,
I
yeah,
was almost
but no,
thinking that
probably,
maybe,
probably.
maybe Waleed himself might be on the bike, और मैं समझ रहा था कि शायद उसके ये जो ripples आ रहे हैं शायद वो bike पे होगा, और you know he placed himself here to take this photo,
Mm.
but it almost seems like it's the car that's causing you know, the
Mm.
ripples. I don't know. Maybe it could be anything. It's all open.
It's really beautiful because there's this huge sense of detail in this picture. That you don't see
Yeah.
immediately in a lot of pictures. And I think the biggest lesson from me in here is the taking consideration of the background, the foreground,
Hmm.
and taking consideration of all those things that might reflect a mood. So this whole picture is a mood, man. I mean, the clouds, the water,
Yeah.
the loneliness of the road. So it's a culmination of all these elements that makes this picture so great. Uh,
Yeah. Also the kachra. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So we did three pictures now,
Yeah.
and
But I think we should end here. And
yeah,
yeah, we'd love to hear everybody's feedback on these kind of you know, videos. This is, you know, to add to the photographic language, I guess. I don't know. We're still learning, but you know, it just slows you down. And even me, like I loved the composition when I saw this photo, but this car part I just noticed. So it really shows how, you know, if you really look at photographs, it can show you so many things. Keeps on revealing.
yeah,
I mean, even this sign, like I'm just looking at this sign, it almost attracts my eyes, and I want to read what's on it, you know.
mm,
But whatever, it's just intriguing when you stop and you really focus on something. So yeah,
It's
it
also
was.
really cool because this session that we did, I've seen this picture like 3 or 4 times, but I didn't notice it like the way we're talking right now. The way that we're appreciating every aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful moment for me, especially. It makes me learn. It makes me slow down and look at pictures
Yeah.
with a more stripped down, cheat part way.
Yeah.
So
Maybe next time we can add, something from Sharkowski's looking at photographs, and
perhaps, yeah.
add our own cheat part to it. Maybe in the future. All right, guys. That's it. See you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.